guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this unit right here. This is the Possessed or Brainwashed Supreme Kai of Time right here. It's actually kind of surprised. There is a Brainwashed Supreme Kai of Time that has sort of like the, her, you know, Supreme Kai Power of Time, like, unleashed form going on. I did actually expect her Dokkan Awakening was going to be that form, but that's not what ended up happening this year, right? So, that is certainly interesting. I think that this character is actually going to be very good, but, I mean, we're going to take a look at her just how she would be if we were going to go into, like, a red zone stage or something like that, right? Where the enemies are immune to seal and attack debuffing and all that. But I think that the Supreme Kai of Time here, she is going to be one of the more impressive characters in the game, I think, for Super Battle Road stages. I do think she's actually going to be quite impressive. So if we take a look, her super attack effect, she actually gets 100% defense. She does supreme damage and then greatly lowers enemy attack and defense. That is a very powerful super attack effect right there. 100% defense is huge. Massive raising defense. That's really good. Then her passive is pretty interesting. So she has a rare chance to stun all enemies. If you proc that, right, you win, probably. In like Super Battle Road runs, it procs, you win, essentially, right? Like tech hit or something like that. Then she gets 2 key, 100% attack and defense at the start of turn. That is good, right? Her giving herself key is very solid. Then she gets another 100% attack and defense on super attack. Then she gets 100% attack for each of if the enemy's in attack down, defensive down, sealed, and stunned. So that's an extra 400% attack she can get if the enemy is debuffed in various ways. All of the tough fights in the game, though, enemies are immune to all of that, right? All of those they're immune to. You know, if you want to do like the first phase of like, you know, Red Zone Brolin, Red Zone Omega and stuff like that, they allow you to do some of that stuff. But by the time you get to phase 2, every boss in all these tough fights is immune to everything. So that's why, again, this is more so like a Super Battle Road type character. Then finally, she seals the attacked enemy's super attack for 2 turns. That is very good. Okay. So that's, if she does a normal, that's gonna seal the enemy super for 2 turns, is very solid. And then, I mean, remember, even on her super attack effect, she's greatly lowering enemy attack too. So she's gonna neutralize the hell out of an enemy if she supers them in like Super Battle Road. So she seals the attacked enemy super attack for 2 turns, and she has a medium chance of stunning all enemies if there's another crossover category ally attacking in the same turn. So she has 2 separate procs for stunning all enemies. She has a 30% chance, and then the rare chance is what? 25%, right? Or is it 15? I would have to double check that. I believe it's a 25% chance, right? I believe. So it's like if either one of those proc, you win. I think she's a great Super Battle Road character, basically. Her link set is Master of Magic, Telekinesis, Godly Power, More Than Meets the Eye, Demonic Power, Battlefield Diva, and Shattering the Limit. And then, I mean, she's on a bunch of teams here. Heroes, Realm of Gods, Patara, Time Traveler, Crossover, and Crota Body and Mind. She does need 1 crossover ally, but I mean, if we look at some of these teams, right, like Patara does have a few crossover units, Crota Body and Mind does. The fact that it's only 1 crossover ally means, you know, the fact that she will win a fight by herself, right, like with that potential chance to stun. So it's like, I don't know, maybe you put Super Saiyan 4 Vegito on the team if you're doing a Patara stage, right? You run Reconstructed Janemba or Golden Metal Cooler if you're going to do Crota Body and Mind stage. Like, you know, I feel like a huge issue with a lot of these characters, typically, these heroes characters, is the restrictions they have in place where they need lots of crossover units or lots of Dragon Ball Hero units. Hers is not bad, though. It's just 1 crossover unit. I feel like it's not a huge issue. So she's going to get 100% twice right here, essentially, right? She gets 100% attack and defense on super attack, and she's getting 100% from her super attack effect. Man, I think full additionals for her does make a lot of sense, right? Because you get the 100% defense multiple times and the greatly lowering attack multiple times would be crazy. I believe this turn, is this all 7 links? I think this is all 7. Yeah, this is all 7 for her. Double support. I mean, this is about as strong as we'll see her. You know, her attack stat we could get much higher if, you know, we go into like a super battle road fight or something like that. But, you know, just say we're in like a red zone fight. This is essentially what she's going to get up to. So let's see what stats she gets. I do actually like this possessed Supreme Kai of Time though. I think this is a good example of how to design a character, right? Like she's not like still 4.9. She's basically at a 5 million attack stat, huh? Okay. With all of the different effects that she could do. Yeah, double super. So that's, she got 100% from super attack, 100% from a super attack effect, and then another 100% from a super attack effect in terms of her defense right there. Very good, all right? Like, that's, like, she can cook. Again, I think that this unit's design is very good. You know, a unit doesn't have to be, I think, a red zone killer, right? They don't have to be the Gammas or some shit like that to be good. Units like this, you know, possessed, brainwashed Supreme Kai of Time are also helpful to have. So like now that this is a huge lockdown character, in a lot of these Super Battle Road stages, this is good, right? Potentially, maybe she could be good for like Battlefield as well, I guess, right? If we're able to like debuff the enemy or something like that in Battlefield, a lot of the Battlefield fights, right? Like sealing and stuff like that is a huge thing. So there is that. I don't know if there's really too much else to talk about with her, right? Like we have gone over essentially a bunch of the basics with her. But I do actually think she's pretty solid. In terms of her attack stat, remember, she could get huge extra damage. And some of it she could do herself, right? Because she does seal, attack. I guess she does everything herself, too. So, like, she really can set herself up to get all these buffs, right? Like, the turn starts, she'll stun them with her passive, right? Then you super them, and she'll seal, and then she'll greatly lower attack, right? Like, she will just proc all this herself, then she additionals, and she gets the huge, massive attack buff. So that is good, too, that you can just give her full additional, and she herself will proc her big abilities. I think that's a really, really good thing, right? So yeah, very, very, very good with her. There are some of these heroes characters I think tonight who I've looked at who definitely have disappointed me, right? Like, I think Super Saiyan 4 Bardock and Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, very unimpressive characters, just very uninspired designs overall. But I think, like, Supreme Kai of Time, I do actually like her. I think that, you know, having characters, because, like, Dokkan Fest Super Vegeta, I think is a good example. I feel like most people would just say, like, oh, he sucks, he's trash, he's ass, he's the worst, right? Dokkan Fest Super Vegeta. But that's not actually completely true. Sure, he's not a Super Battle Road killer, or he's not a Red Zone killer, right, or something like that, that Dokkan Fest Super Vegeta. But he can, like, really dominate Super Battle Road stages with his guaranteed stun, guaranteed crit. Like, he's pretty good. So it's like you really do want to keep that in mind with a lot of these characters, that, you know, giving them strong abilities to some of those stages is very helpful. But at the same time, you could probably make the argument that, like, Super Battle Road stages are piss easy, right? Because you go in there with 8 items. It's like, yeah, you're probably not gonna have too much trouble anyway. All right, so let's do this turn right here for Brainwashed Supreme Kai of Time. And then we'll finish up. But I like her, right? I give her 2 thumbs up. She gets a passing grade. At least I can examine her kit. I look at it, and I love what... Oh, golden cooler. Okay, well, I guess we'll end there. That's funny. But anyway, I could look at Brainwashed Supreme Kai of Time's kit, and I you know, like, she has a clear, defined role where she can actually help out in a major way. And a lot of these heroes units really are not at that level, but, you know, some of them are. So let me know what you guys think of Possessed Supreme Kai of Time. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.